to get the setbacks they use, that strikes me as eminently fair and reasonable. Nothing prevents the developers from buying up homes in the area they need to develop, just like you would need to do if it was a quarry or a landfill. And if the developer's claims are that there's no loss of property value associated with that, it theoretically would cost them nothing because they will convert one asset, cash, into another stable asset, real estate. That's no loss to the developer whatsoever. Am I about out of time?
Getting close.
Getting close? All right, I'll hurry up. Finally, I'll make this comment briefly. I know Mr. Goldberg has given you some documents. We brought a rebuttal to that by Mr. Rick James. If you read through the report that I furnished Mr. Anderson, you realize that Mr. Goldberg's opinion seems to vary depending on which municipality he is in. In Vermont, he recognized that turbines would create serious low-frequency impacts up to about 1.2 miles. In Riga Township, he recommended 1,320 feet, and he spoke on behalf of Consumers Energy in Mason County at a meeting I was at where they were asking for under 1,000 feet. I would suggest you take Mr. Goldberg's recommendations with a grain of salt. I thank you for your time. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions at all about how Riga thought about this ordinance being created.
Thank you, sir. You've done rather well. You're about 11, 12 minutes. That's how close to 10 when you start out. And we don't know exactly how that's going to happen. So, Jim, if you don't care, I'll take care of the other person and when we get to 7 o'clock.
Are we limiting this to 3 minutes?
Well, we are only to opening arguments. Each side is going to have 10, and the opening argument is on one side has just got 2. So, does the other side like to have their 10 minutes?
Those are respected 3-minute limit. Thank you.
I'm sorry?
I'll go first for the. My name is Bob Judge, J-U-D-G-E. I am with Exelon Corporation.
Yes.
I live in 25 Twin Creek Drive, Thornton, Pennsylvania. I thank you for the hospitality for inviting us here this evening. We plan to stay within the 3-minute request that you have given. Just want to give you a short brief about Exelon Generation. We are the largest electric generation portfolio in the country. We reach in the Midwest, the North Atlantic, and in Texas. We have 25,000 megawatts of owned capacity. We own 17 nuclear sites. We operate them safely on 11 locations in 5 states. We also have facilities of solar, wind, and other facilities, hydro, coal, gas, and oil. We distribute electricity to 5.4 million customers in the Chicago area and in Pennsylvania. Exelon Wind is a division of Exelon Power. We purchased Exelon Wind from John Deere in December of 2009. They have 36 projects in 5 states, 4 additional 5 projects, hopefully, in Michigan, 2 projects that are completed, 2 that are in various stages of construction in the Thumb area of the state, and hopefully the Blissfield project in the future. That is about 8,000 megawatts of electricity that we produce from the power facility, of which 735 megawatts are wind, an additional 30 megawatts in Michigan are expected. We have other projects that we are looking at throughout the country. Exelon is a good neighbor, a good friend, and good to the community. Over the years and projects that we own and operate in, we support the community with nonprofit organizations. We give back to the community. This project will provide a good, strong tax base for the community over the life of the project. We will return the investments to the community, and when the construction is done, we expect that the project will rely on local businesses for support of material. We thank you for your time. We look forward to working with you. If you have any questions about Exelon, we'll be glad to answer them. We have other members of the organization who will talk on the specifics of the project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay. State your name and address, please.
Jeff Ehler, 4333 Ricker Highway, Blissfield, Michigan. I would like to start off by actually giving you some information of how this project come about in Lenawee County. Not to cover it too much in detail, but just give some of the facts. Back in 2007, we started talking about wind here in Lenawee County, whether it could be something for Lenawee County, what type of tax dollars it would bring in, what type of wind that we had here, and if it would be good for the county. We attended a conference in Detroit in December, 2nd and 3rd, I think it was, of December of 2007. Learned a lot about wind at that conference. We visited some wind farms around the country in different places. In January of 2008, we formed Great Lakes Wind here in Lenawee County with a group of the local people and put some money together to get started, to organize. We put up went to the Riga Planning Commission in April 2008, asked about getting a permit to put up a Met Tower to study the wind. Found out what that might be, told him we was interested in developing a wind farm here. And I say we, and it should be me in this case, went to the township board, told them about what we was thinking about doing. And then I don't think I've missed over 2 or 3 meetings since that period of time in April 2008. We went to Blissville Township, see about a permit there. We'll put up a Met Tower. We actually paid them $300 to have the permission to do that. We looked around the area. We started to order a Met Tower because we thought we was going to get some place to build it. While we was looking to find the best place to do that, we worked with MSU University. They do wind studies. They had a tower on Gary Sylvester's, and they had a tower on Danwitz. So we made arrangements with them. We leased some ground to put a tower on in Ogden Township, just in Ogden Township, outside Riga. We put that tower up on June 1st of 2008. We had our first lease meeting in Riga in November 18th of 2008, and had invited several of the people in for that meeting. In May of 2009, we went to a conference in Chicago, a WEA conference, met with John Deere. Some of the people from Riga Township Board had gone up to the wind farm up there, is what I was told at the meeting in Riga, and they was really impressed about the farm that was built there by John Deere. Thought they did a nice job. John Deere was a very respectable company in the area. We looked at that farm up there. They did do a nice job. Ditches, roads were put back the way they should be. You couldn't see any damage in the fields. After it was done, it really was a nice job. And we was fortunate enough to get time to visit with one of the John Deere guys there. In July 2009, we was able to strike a deal with John Deere to build the work with us. We needed a year's data, wind data, to do that. So, and we, in our contract with Deere, which is now with Exelon, permits local people to own a portion of this Blissville wind project. Thank you.
Thank you. When I wave my hand, or when Jim waves his hand, if you're in the middle of explaining something, we certainly want you to finish.
Thank you.
Jim, go ahead from now on. I'll let the chairman come on up, man. Please state your name and your address, and then from now on, you're going to hear from Jim.
My name is Shirley Metcalf, and I live at 11925 William Road in Riga Township. And I am tired of feeling like a nobody. And there are people in this room this evening that think I am a nobody. I am a somebody. I am a taxpayer in Riga Township. I've lived there for about 50 years. My husband's family's been there longer. I am very, very exasperated about This is all about bringing things into my community that someone wants for money, just for the greed. And I have been told by farmers that this is to help them keep them on their 150-year-old, 100, 200 farms. And they need the money to stay on these farms. Well, what about me? I've been in the township 50 years. I have a home. I do not cry. Oh my gosh, I can't make it. I'm a widow. I've been a widow for 21 years. I have never asked anybody for any help. I don't go crying to the farm. I don't have any money. I gotta stay in my house. Would you please help me? I do not do that. And I'm so sick and tired of being lied to, flat out lied to, by our township boards and boards of this type, and thinking that the only people that live in these townships are farmers. There are a lot of people that live in Roger Township that are not farmers, and they are good, honest, hardworking people. Now, what happens when I am about to lose my house? What happens if I can't stand all of this stuff that's coming from these wind turbines? Who is going to be there to help me? I have nothing against the farmers, none whatsoever. My father farmed, worked in a factory, supported 6 children, and he did a fine job of it. And I'm telling you, if I have a job over here, and I work at it, and I get laid off or fired, I might be able to draw unemployment for a small time. When that unemployment is gone, if I have not found another job, Mr. Farmer doesn't come and say, don't worry about it, Shirley, I'll take care of you. And I did go down to Payne, Ohio, and I did see what they're doing down there. And to me, it looks like something out of a science fiction movie. And this is only the first phase of it. They're putting in 100, they're not even up yet. And the people that are going to be affected by this, I saw empty houses there. I don't know why they're empty. I talked to some of the people in the community. And it looks like a very depressed community. And when they say, oh, you're going to reduce your electricity bill, wrong. Your electricity bill is going to increase by quite a bit, because how are they going to pay for each of these turbines that cost, I don't know, $1 million or more? How are they going to pay for it? And these developers here, do they live in this area where these things are coming? No, they're off in their own little snug areas where they have the peace and quiet that they have had for several years, if they've lived there several years, and they go back to their nice little nest. And no, even the lawyer that Ryan Township has hired has said he would not live in a wind turbine area. And I just think it's about time this commission, my township board members, planning and regular board, consider there are more people in Ryan Township than just farmers who want money to stay on their property. I say if they can't make a living farming, get out of it.
Your 3 minutes are up. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I heard everything that you said, but I didn't hear what it is that you have against the wind farms.
It's going to disrupt my peace and mind and my life. I live out in the country because that's where I want to live. I don't want to live with a cluttered up fields and the noise and everything else that these people want to force on me. And I pay my taxes in Ryden Township just like they do, and I get nothing for it. I get nothing for my taxes.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh.
Is there anyone else who wants to speak?
My name is Kevin Peter. I live at 4634 East Horton Road, Litchfield, Michigan. I'm a resident of Ogden Township, and I support the wind project, and I support the recommended changes in Micah's proposal that have been provided for us here today. it is very clear, and it will become clearer to you if it has not become clear already, that for many this is a very emotional issue. The career path that I have chosen leads me to defend people's rights to express themselves, and so I do not hold in disregard in any kind of fashion that people do have strong feelings about this matter. But I have some too. I've attended a number of the meetings, and one of the meetings that I attended was a meeting at Ragged Township Planning Commission, and it was a combined board meeting, as I understand it, where two sound experts, one from the company and one from the IICC, thank you, Kevin, and listened to the proposals. And I made this observation at the meeting, and I presented to them, because this is numbers that they presented, that their expert presented, that I questioned him on regarding sound levels and regarding the infrasound. Studies that they showed, and he didn't provide what studies they were, nor what the foundation, or how many people were involved in the study, so it's strictly based on percentages. From 67, they quoted it as 33% to 25% had some kind of, people involved in the survey expressed some kind of problem, some kind of negative feelings toward the sound that they were experiencing. Of that 33 to 25%, and 20% of that subtotal, which would be 5 to 6.5% of a total of 100%, just had really strong problems with it. The converse of that is that 67% to 75% of people had no problem with them, and that was conceded by their own expert. In America, there are broad views and broad opinions concerning many subjects, from taxes to a variety of uses of if and when and where, and lots of things in our country is faced with a number of those today. It's a simple observance of mine that for passing legislation, that for even amending the Constitution of the United States, that 2/3 majority is enough. 67% falls within a 2/3 majority. There are lots of things upon which we vote and upon which we express opinion, which we don't get our way. We're entitled to debate, and we're entitled to be disappointed, and we're entitled to work within the bounds of the system to accomplish those purposes which suit our own ends. I simply state my support as I'm only a 30-year resident of my wife's family, on whose property we reside, and we own acreage which has been in the family for in excess of 100 years or so. We have to go back to the Tombstone and Zion Cemetery, but it's about 125 years or something like that. So we have long-standing roots in the community as well. And so I support the recommended changes that have been made, and ask that you would hold off until those changes have been made.